Sarah, everyone seems to go to Belton in the spring. It's the most important advanced course perhaps of all.
Yeah, they run between 4 and 6 advanced sections every year. That shows how popular it is. And you were talking about the ground at Dimes Hall being in a valley. Belton starts over a much flatter track and then has a hill 2/3 of the way through the course.
Well, and coming down that hill, Ian Stark with another of his famous grey horses, Stannick Ghost.
Now this fence caused a little bit of concern this year because it's actually quite complicated. It doesn't make for a very smooth ride. So in some ways, yes, an advanced test, but not necessarily a very nice test, especially towards the end of the course.
It's been there quite a while. I haven't heard anybody complaining about it, but maybe it's because, as you say, it's too near the end.
Yes, and it's not that nice to have the sort of bounce up over the step and then the double of rails.
Well, the other series of combinations we got here with Blythe is what we used to call the coffin and the water complex.
Yeah, all with downhill approaches. So you have one combination, and then this water catches them out sometimes, but not this horse.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah, he showed how confident and how experienced he was. Didn't mind it at all.
Well, that really, anyway, must be on form one of the best three-day event horses in the world. Now we're with Leslie Law, and he's early on the course now, coming to the 6th fence, fairly straightforward.
This little horse is quite a sort of stocky, chunky number, but he's got better and better and better. I've known him since he was a novice, really, and I think Leslie wants to hope to take him to Badminton this spring. Very neat through there, and the horse always tries.
Pepper Fennel and Rainbow Magic.
Pippa's got quite a lot of big bay horses, and I never know which one's which. They're all very consistent, but as you say, you know, Pippa's really hoping to hit consistency in the 4-star 3-day event category.
Do you think this could be the horse?
Oh, I don't know. That's like closing your eyes and picking a sweetie out of the pack, isn't it?
Pepper really must be one of the most professional and competent riders, and also one of the nicest people on the 3-day eventing scene.
And one of the most hard-working as well, because they have an awful lot of horses.
Ian Stark with JB. Now this is a horse, a new horse to some extent for Ian, but a very promising-looking chap.
Yeah, he has a really nice outlook. Lots of scope, plenty of stamina, and I think Ian wants to take this to Badminton.
And the other thing I've noticed is that he's not pulling Ian's arms out by the roots.
No, he isn't, is he? But he's just, his ears are flickering and he's just listening all the time for instructions from the rider.
The Land Rover complex before the water, Land Rover, well, I'd call it a coffin, but they don't anymore. And we have Mark Todd with Regal Scott.
And it'd be interesting to see how this relative youngster jumps through the water. If you remember, we've already seen Blythe jump it. And it's jumping really well. Sometimes the water complex here at Belton doesn't jump that well.
We've seen too much trouble there so far, but as you say, it can be difficult. David Green, very noted Australian rider.
And again, he's been in the sport a long time now, and with a lot of the other top riders, they just keep bringing out these horses, these youngsters, we don't know them, and they're all the time looking for horses that are possibilities for them to take to championships. Really nice gallop stride pattern this horse has.
Well, David's riding him very sensibly. Back with Ian Stark now and JB, coming to the corner gates, about halfway around the course.
Now this corner is actually quite large. There's a lot of daylight to the right of it, and Ian made it look easy. This horse has a lot of class, doesn't he? A lot of quality.
I like the look of him very much. I think we'll see some more of him. Nicky MacDonald. We're up on the top of the hill now, a bounce between two log piles.
Quite a lot of spread on these two log piles, but again, as long as your horse has got enough scope, the actual spread shouldn't cause too much of a problem. And this horse is going very sweetly, but you can see how undulating this ground is.
Like traditional Burley, isn't it? We're with Vicky Simpson and Killer Mays.
coming to the keyhole, which we've already seen Stanek Ghost jump. Oh!
Well, she missed her jack there, didn't she?
Yeah, it's only a short stride in the bottom. The horse actually came a little bit loose, just didn't have time to adjust his balance, didn't have time for the stride, and then because it's a bounce up the step to a bounce of rails, the horse really had no chance. But it was just a sort of genuine mistake.
It was an honest mistake. I mean, it wasn't a dirty stop.
No, no. The horse was just travelling a little bit through the water. I think he thought he could walk on water.
We're back now with Pippa Funnel, and this is a very interesting horse we haven't seen a lot of before, Supreme Rock.
Yes, Pippa's had the ride on this horse for a couple of years. He was started by his owner and then handed over to Pippa. And she really likes the horse. I think it's taken her a while to get the partnership organised. Now you can see how much more controlled she was into that, so the horse had time to get the stride in. But again, it didn't just jump out that neatly. It's quite a sort of testing fence and quite a punishing fence because of the amount of jumping efforts.
It's actually a 4-star fence there, whatever
Yeah.
you say, isn't it? Yeah. And another horse, well, word for word we know, but Mark seems to ride more horses these days than Andrew Nicholson.
Absolutely.
He's coming, it's a different camera angle this, but he's coming to the Land Rover complex, the coffin, as I call it.
And you can see how he really uses his body just to set the horse up to get the balance right. A little bit green there. It can jump a little bit green, this fence. And depending on where you jump the first rail, you can make it slightly easier on the approach.
Now we're with Bettina Everesh again. Saw her at Dines a few moments ago.
Very stylish rider. Beautifully presented dressage test, very good show jumping rider. And, you know, she really knows how to ride the cross country. Some of the Europeans find the cross country element quite difficult. But this girl works really hard. And with her boyfriend Andrew Hoy, they produce lovely horses. Very nice.
Class act. Down the hill, this is Blythe's Olympic horse, and you can see the difference between an Olympic Championship horse and lesser horses, I think.
Coming down to this complicated combination, 3 from home, Blythe sets him up. You see the horse just looks, and even an Olympic champion doesn't do it according to plan all the time.
But pretty neat just the same. Anyway, Blythe goes off towards the end of the course. Let's have a look at the scores.